What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Spotify is the Devil, and I'm starting to understand why somebody threw poop at their office. Today we'll be talking about how Spotify is being sued by the MLC. MLC stands for the Mechanical Licensing Collective. They are a non-profit organization established in 2018 to issue blanket and mechanical licenses for streaming services in the United States, such as Spotify. This news comes after Spotify recently reclassified their premium subscription plan as a bundle deal. I talked about it a few videos ago. I'll link a card up here if you want to check that out in further detail. I'll run you through it really quickly though. Spotify is going to be paying out $150 million less to songwriters and publishers over the next year due to a new scheme. Freudian slip there. They've reclassified their premium plan as a bundle deal because it includes audiobooks. So basically, since they are classifying it as a bundle deal, they can pay out 50% as much to music publishers and songwriters. You may ask yourself, Weaver, why? Why would they do this? It's because they fucking hate us. They want us dead. I'm convinced that Daniel Ek is trying to control all musicians in the world and starve us all to death, essentially. Another theory we have is that he has a vendetta against musicians. Maybe he's a failed musician. Maybe his wife slept with a musician, his ex-wife. Maybe he's trying to become the only musician. There has to be something else at play here because there is just some sort of personal vendetta or something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think it is. Give me your wackiest answers only. Anyways, really quickly, I just want to say like the video before we get into the details and subscribe if you're new here. If I get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I will shave my eyebrows. Yes, we are bringing it back, guys. We are bringing it back, the challenge. So subscribe on your alt accounts. I don't care at this point. Tell your friends, tell your family, bother the shit out of them. Run out in the streets, whatever you gotta do, all right? I don't wanna see these eyebrows here by the end of the year. Ball's in your court, guys. Tell your friends, share the videos. Whatever we gotta do, we're gonna get this done. So the MLC filed this lawsuit against Spotify in the United States for underpaying royalties to songwriters and publishers via the District Court for the Southern District of New York on May 16th. In a 2022 legal settlement known as Phono Records 4, that sounds like a movie or something. Phono Records 4, publishers and streaming services made an agreement that bundle services in the US are able to pay a lower mechanical royalty rate to publishers and songwriters than they would with a standalone subscription service. Those are the key words there, guys. Basically, because of this deal they made in the past, they had an agreement that bundle services could have a lower payout for mechanical royalties. Basically, they accidentally f***ed us in this deal. So either Spotify backdoored this into the contract, or they just thought they would never really make access to it, or they wouldn't access it, or they wouldn't use it in a way that is so scummy, where they don't really change the price, but then they just pay us less because they're including more shit. So long story short, Spotify is basically changing nothing, and but they're taking half of our money. So we mad at Spotify. What's new? But yeah, like I said, vendetta. He just fucking hates musicians. All that's going on in his big fucking head is just hate for musicians. Or maybe his mom cheated on his dad with a guitar. That's why he's coming for us, guys. The MLC argues that by applying the rate formula applicable to bundles to its premium subscriptions, Spotify is underpaying royalties due to songwriters and publishers, and that Spotify's position does not comply with the law. Well, what a surprise. Spotify is not complying with the law. Wow. They stated in the lawsuit that this new change is directly at ends with the Section 115 regulations to which MLC has responsibility for interpreting and applying. The MLC claims further in its lawsuit that on March 1st, 2024, without advance notice to the MLC, Spotify unilaterally and unlawfully decided to reduce the service provider revenue reported to the MLC for a premium by almost 50%. Spotify's ballsy as they're just like, hey, guess what, Emily? Your pay has been reduced to 50%. The change takes place in just kidding, it takes place now. Spotify was also recently sent a cease and desist, except this was from the NMPA, the National Music Publishers Association, for allegedly hosting unlicensed lyrics, content, and video. So basically the NMPA and MLC are double teaming Spotify right now. You know, Spotify has paid out more than $9 billion to the music industry in 2023, he states. In the entire history of Spotify, we've now paid out more than $48 billion. While artists claim to generate next to no revenue from streams, X says that isn't Spotify's fault. I mean, it kind of seems like your fault in this case. I don't know, you're like, hey, we're gonna pay you half. Is that cool? We recently decided we're not gonna pay out for anything under 1,000 streams. And also now we're only going to pay for half. That cool? It's not our fault though, by the way. Spotify had called the NMPA cease and desist a press stunt filled with false and misleading claims, and suggested that the music publisher's legal threat over alleged infringement on its platform was an attempt to deflect from the Phono 4 deal that the NMPA agreed and celebrated back in 2022. This is US government level of deflection and manipulation, in my opinion. If it's just a press stunt, then why are they both taking action against you? And there's no way that it is false that there is unlicensed content on Spotify. I mean, aside from how many songs are being uploaded, I myself have literally uploaded unlicensed content on Spotify. I'm not trying to confess anything here. I'm just saying, who here hasn't uploaded an uncleared sample? They only celebrated this deal because they didn't think you were slimy enough to pull something like this, which I don't know how they didn't see that coming. The MLC argued in their lawsuit, the financial consequences of Spotify's failure to meet its statutory obligations are enormous for songwriters and music publishers. They also argued that Premium is exactly the same service that Spotify offered to its subscribers before the launch of Audiobooks Access, and then nothing has been bundled with it. It seems like it's something they just added in, and then now they're paying people less because of it. Again, I don't really understand why. I'm guessing maybe they make a little more money too, but why? Just why? In the months before the purported transformation of Premium into a bundled subscription offering, subscribers could listen to unlimited ad-free music and up to 15 hours of audiobooks each month in return for a $10.99 monthly payment, as well as other non-music audio content. The launch of Audiobooks Access resulted in no change at all in Premium, and prior to March 1st, Spotify paid mechanical royalties on the entirety of Premium revenues, subject to certain specific reductions identified in Section 115, despite the fact that Premium subscribers also had access to the same number of hours of audiobooks as Audiobooks Access subscribers now have. Nothing changed when Audiobooks Access launched. Now, this is important. It points out that they were offering the same service before and after. You can't really say you're bundling a deal when it was already being given before that. You're giving the same thing. Essentially, by labeling it as a bundle, they can pay less. Yeah, I know, it's really hard to believe that Spotify is willing to spit in our faces after already spitting on it 500 times. There's a thick coat of spit on our faces. And honestly, I can't even see who's spitting on me anymore. The only reason I know is because I'm being told it's Spotify. The MLC essentially wants to get the corrected reporting from March 2024 onward, as well as the royalties, and get it fixed going forward. The MLC is the only entity that can enforce royalty payment obligations. The lawsuit sends a clear message that platforms cannot improperly manipulate usage, in this case, unilaterally redefining services as a bundle, in order to devalue music. We strongly support the MLC and will continue to pursue justice. I genuinely think that Daniel Ek has a vendetta with musicians. I'm telling you, his wife, his mom, or somebody a guitar somewhere. That's all I know. And Spotify actually responded to this statement in email to Music Business Worldwide. The lawsuit concerns terms that publishers and streaming services agreed to and celebrated years ago under the Phono 4 agreement. So basically they're being like, hey, back then you thought it was pretty awesome. Doesn't seem so awesome now, right? Bundles were a crucial component of that settlement, and multiple DSPs include bundles as part of their mix of subscription offerings. Spotify paid a record amount to publish. So it's kind of dumb to even mention other services because Spotify is the biggest one. They're going to use what works and doesn't work on Spotify as a template for what works and doesn't work on other ones. Then they stated Spotify paid a record amount to publishers and societies in 2023 and is on track to pay out an even larger amount in 2024. And I believe this statement is pretty misleading. They make it sound like they're the good guys here, which first of all, they're not the good guys. But secondly, they're only on track to pay out more money because they are making more money. They're not paying out more money per person is essentially what I'm trying to say. They're only essentially there are more customers, they're making more money, and then they're paying it out because there's more artists. The amount of money total is what is growing, not the amount of money they're paying out per person. Now, I don't foresee this situation with platforms such as Spotify getting any better. I mean, I think companies like Spotify will continue to find ways to weasel out of paying artists money. Don't understand why. Like I said, I think there's a guitar involved though. That's it for this one, guys. I just want to shout out to Daniel Ek. He can suck my microplastic balls. If you press the like button on this video, you can take a look at my cat. Here is the sleepy cat. He is very sleepy. You gotta press that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. I post videos like this almost every single day. Trying to get to 100K by the end of the year. Let's see if we can do it. If you want to support the channel, consider joining my Patreon or become a channel member. For as low as $5 a month, you get access to exclusive content, outtakes, and other goodies. I'll see you guys next time.
If you want to support the channel, consider joining Patreon because you can find out this month.
Everyone consider $5 a month.
Bang Incorporated.